Hello and welcome to AleksConnects Creative Sandbox. My name is Alex and let's continue our Fanart project Angry Birds vs Transformers. Right away. So again, we are working on the illustration still. Again, because I'm working on this project only during live streams, it definitely takes some time. Ideally, I think it would be a much better idea to just stream like 8 hours straight a couple of times and then just get on with this project and finish it. But since I can't do this, we are going to work with this way. And at least for these type of projects, I think. Yeah, and also the problem why this project is so long, I guess, is because it's pretty complex. It's complex illustration. There's a bunch of elements into it that we need to think of in terms of how to place things, how to properly storytell, how to tell stories. So there's a bunch of things that we need to consider in here. And of course, because I don't have that much of experience, so this is like the work that I'm gaining my experience right away. So basically I'm learning on the go, and because of this it makes this process longer than it would probably took me in reality. And also again, I'm streaming it, I'm trying to talk about things, I'm trying to say what I'm thinking about, what type of decisions I'm making, and all these things kind of makes things a little bit slower. But either way, I'm gaining a lot from it, and I hope you will gain something from it too, because again, sharing these type of life progresses and processes when you're actually trying to describe all of your thoughts, it's not something that much present out there, and I wish it was, but unfortunately it's not the case. But still, let's just go right into the ZBrush. Where are ZBrush? Hello there. So yeah, previously, like, last session was pretty short. This session is not going to be a exception. I think this session is going to be short too. I hope throughout the session I will solve the problem of the hand. So the first thing, let's just dive into work right away. The first thing that I need to address, that I right away figured it out after I ended yesterday's session, is the fact that we need to reshape this hand into a resting position. So the hand itself. So we set this hand into the resting position rotationally wise, and now we need to set the fingers in the rest position too, because we need this in order to understand how to properly showcase everything finger. So let's do this right away. It's not going to be pretty at first, but it's not a problem. Oh. So I need to stay. Yeah. Those things definitely going to be much bigger. Because again, this is a Transformer's hand. It needs to be massive comparing to the rest of the proportions. But yeah, it's definitely going to be not easy thing to do. part of me thinks that it's too big. looks like we need to make it smaller. Okay, could work. Now let's just apply Dynamesh. Soften things out. Before that, let's just fill up this emptiness that we have here. I think we're not going to manage to get rid of all artifacts in here. Let's hope that we do get rid of them. Oh, that's why we have double side. Yeah, it's stuck, so let's just go with backface auto mask. Hope it's not going to be applied. Nope. Yeah. Now it works. So if you're having a trouble when you're trying to sculpt a particular surface and they're just basically, if you want to build up here and make this one stay the same and not move with it, you need to turn on back face mask. It's somewhere in here. I don't remember actually where it is, but it is somewhere in here. Let's just see what it is. Brush, auto masking, and back face mask. Yeah, so brush, where is the brush? Brush, auto masking, and backface brush. Also, we can control its intensity. Usually standard one works fine, so yeah. Just re-establish fingers. Again, I don't know what form fingers are going to be. They definitely need to look a little bit close to human, but since they are right now complete blob, and I don't have references for them, it's definitely could create problems. So I guess I definitely need to open a couple of references of the Transformers hands and figure out this thing that we gathered before. Shaping up hand, but for now let's just shape it up like we imagine it. And also, we all have hands, or at least those of us who have hands could watch on their hand and analyze them as a reference. So yeah, I need to create a hole in here and actually separate them from each other. It's not going to be an easy thing to do. I kind of wanted to explore live boolean for these purposes, But I guess we will keep it for the later projects because, I don't know, applying live boolean in here, I think I'm much quicker I'm going to solve this problem by just pressing it down, or even better, moving it. Doesn't look like a finger at all, but wait for it. And sometime it will. Yeah, there's lots of stuff to move here. This is the good thing about Dynamesh though, that I like. It gives you the freedom of manipulating everything that you want without thinking how it's going to look. So yeah, we separated a palm for, oh, no. Forget how it calls, thumb, yeah. Thumb, but we separated thumb from the pair of the rest 4 fingers, which was the whole thing, the whole point of doing this. Just shape it up a little bit better. It's definitely broken. Again, this is Transformer's hand. I definitely need to think how to properly address it because, like, okay. Huh? Why it's acts so strange? Yeah, this is a problem when you have close shapes. It's pretty hard to work with them. Okay, let's just go through references because again, right out from, I don't think that I could do this properly just from my imagination. I could, but again, that way I would spend a lot of time on it. So we don't have that much time in this session, so I guess let's just make things a little bit more. But I still want to shape this out properly though. Then of course we need to separate every finger, which is definitely not the best way of making these things. So ideally, when you're working with the seriously? They called extremities? Oh yeah, let's call it extremities. So when you're working with I don't know, let's just call it the distal parts or separate parts of the body, usually there's another way of going around it. I guess let's do this because I don't think that this is going to work. I will spend crazy amount of time on doing it, so let's just try another method. So let's just delete all of this. let's just save before maybe. I don't want to lose supposed progress. So. So there was a thing that, oh no, it's not a mask. We actually need to use it. Yeah, we need a selection tool. We need to hide this and then use function delete hidden. Yeah, I think this one could work. So sorry for cutting your fingers off. It's necessary, unfortunately, because the only way to create a separate fingers is this way. I don't know, maybe we need to like just basically create one finger and then duplicate it and change them. I don't know. This is one of the ways that, again, if I would work in 3D, like in modeling, I would definitely do this. I would first create it like the one finger and then I just duplicate it and change it slightly, reposition this, and that's it. But since we're working with sculpting, it's not necessarily feels like intuitive thing to do. So this is something to. So now I need to remember what this function is. It was a long time. So delete all. Extract, split, project, remesh, boolean merge, split, split hidden. Actually something here. Maybe something. Delete all. Delete active subtool. Delete hidden. Let's try to find it. It's definitely not going to be displacement map, texture, nope. Body paint, nope. Move target, nope. Contact, nope. Definitely not polygroups. By the way, one of the coolest things in here is polygroups. I love them. Their purpose, how they work, and how they help you organize your sculpt. Visibility, okay. Show, shrink. This is closer. Masking. Naughty. Maybe it's here. Nope, nothing here. Shrink and flatten the seam. What is this? What is this noise? How I get there? Preview, nope, nope. Seriously, I forgot what this function is. Come on, it's here. So what it is, tool, geometry, delete hidden. Okay, tool, geometry, and I don't see delete hidden. Wait, oh no, oh no, oh no, we need to close it. Yes, aborted. Aborted by user. I don't want to zero mesh. Modify topology, delete hidden. That's where it is. So yeah, it's in geometry and delete hidden, and when we're going to press it, it's just going to delete what is hidden, and after we will dynamesh it, it's going to close holes. And now we actually can extend fingers one by one. and we don't need to spend a lot of time on separating them. It's much more faster way to deal with this thing. The other question is how we would go with creating new things, either this way or just moving it. Again, this is the first time that I'm sculpting from the ground up, from the base mesh, and I'm not necessarily that experienced in making these type of decisions. So what's the best way to do this? Line mesh. Continue to build up. And I guess I will create like the pointing finger, and then I will create the rest. I guess after I will figure out the design for one finger, it's going to be much easier to figure out design for all of them. So now I'm just basically preparing a shape for the finger. I'm not necessarily trying to make a finger super realistic. Still need to figure out what length it's going to have. This is too much. It doesn't need it. It doesn't have to be lower than knee. A little bit higher usually, but it all depends on the proportions. So yeah, let's just go through the references. I kind of need to go through the references and see this thing. Again, seriously. How many times I need to close OneDrive from this program? Just relaunch it. Pink. No thanks. No thanks. No thanks. So yeah, let's see. So let's find references with the transformers that could work. Definitely not transformers. This is Angry Birds. Just go into our folders, into our transformers, and let's see how where their hands placed and how they look. Yeah, they are definitely not human-like. So something about them that could make them pretty close to the human, but they're still pretty far from that. They look more like, I don't know, lizard hands. Oh, come on. Wait a sec, I lost my... Get it back. That was painful. Yeah, now I'm sitting comfortable. Oh. So yeah, hands of the transformers, especially these transformers, are pretty close to lizard ones, so they are not necessarily like humans. They are a little bit more, I'd say, free in movement. Although they pretty close to the human ones, but still. The cool thing that they have something like this, so I'm kinda unintentionally created it. Although I didn't pay attention for this specific design elements, but definitely something in here present, like a armor glove. I don't know. So yeah, let's just find the same for the Optimus Prime. It doesn't have that much super realistically looking hands. They are more like, I don't know, they have this robotic feeling. They definitely operate differently from the human one. Although they still can grab things close to the human hand function, but still it's pretty far from that, I guess. So we could allow ourselves some changes, which is a good thing. So hand doesn't have to look super realistic. Kind of makes things a little bit easier. We don't need to stress about super realistic anatomy. Yeah, I guess that's kind of it. Kind of works. So yeah, I will open one of the references on the second monitor, and I'm just going to, just for the sake of references, to be aware what I'm working with. Because again, hand is one of the hardest thing to draw and to properly depict. You need to understand anatomy, you need to understand movement, you need to understand like gesture of the hand, and especially it's problematic for the static hand, because like when you're working with dynamic hand, it's much more easy. It's easier to create dynamic hand when you already know what movement this hand is like in. For instance, if this hand is grabbing something, you know that it's grabbing something, and you will create it in this particular position. It has a purpose. But when we are working with the static hand, this is not necessarily doing anything. It just sits there. It's much more harder to create. Also, it didn't answer me the question how long proportionally. It definitely looks silly, so don't mind that. Sometimes things going to look silly for a certain period of time until we'll make sure that they're going to look right. So yeah, I want to open references from Pinterest. For some reason it doesn't open them. Please tell me why it's the case. Yeah, nothing. Like completely nothing. Oh yeah, finally. It's there. No, it's not there. So I guess Firefox is get updated, and I lost my Pinterest account there. Whatever. It means where. Oh no, I didn't lost. Everything is fine. It's just loading. I just go through the Pinterest account. So yeah, kind of want to see in much up close the Transformer hands, because from movie scene shots we definitely didn't depict them. So yeah, they are functioning pretty close to the humans, but still have a little bit more freedom to them, I guess. But in terms of the design, especially in here, oh yeah, this is definitely what I'm going to use as a reference, because again, this transformer that I'm creating is pretty close to Decepticon. So, I don't know what like statues or these knights, what they are. They are Autobots, or they are Decepticons, or they are something in between. I'm not actually aware of it. So, but still, the design that I'm kind of picking up from this thing is Decepticon design, because I could though incorporate something from the Optimus Prime. But for now, let's just use something like this. I guess, yeah. So basically, I will open this on the second monitor, and I'm going to use it for the reference, for the sake of referencing it, because I definitely need one. It's going to. Hands. So I guess I need to move this one. It's too big. Yeah, today's session is definitely going to be strange. Previous session was strange too. Creative session. Yeah, I think I'm going to call them creative sessions, because why not? Why not call them creative sessions? Still feels like it's too long, but at the same time, and it's definitely too high, like, or too long, the hand itself. Just cut it out. Yeah, hand overall is too long. So probably this part needs to be much higher. Although, I wouldn't say that this is a bad thing. Maybe it could even work. Delete hidden. Dynamesh. I think the reason why this hand seems longer because it starts lower. Ideally the hand should start here, but I kinda started a little bit later, or after the shoulder pad. And the only reason behind this is because we need to create some type of movement in here. Flexibility to move this arm. So I guess I need to go with the long hand. And in the end, if I'm not going to like how it's going to look, I'm just going to change its scale and that's it. I don't think it's going to be a problemo. Okay, so... just go with the clay build up. Clay build up. Or move. Doesn't matter that much. What? No thanks. I don't want to convey. I don't want to go through the survey. the surveys, unfortunately. The problem with designing one specific hand without considering one specific finger without considering the rest of the fingers, it's not going to work for your overall, like, imagining how it's going to look. So we need to see this as a whole, and we could redesign one finger a million times and still it's not going to look right, because it's going to be out of the context of the rest of the fingers. We need to put all fingers beside each other in order to see the full picture. If we're not going to do this, it's just going to look odd. Yeah, I don't think that I will manage to do something in this session more than just working on this part. It's definitely pretty challenging. I guess this is the better way than creating a full shape and then separating this shape. Although, who knows, probably if we could incorporate it with selection tool, for instance, we could do this. Let's just, for the sake of trying, we could cut out a particular place for the finger, delete hidden, and then apply the animation. That way we could basically create the separations. Even maybe it would even be much faster. But since I've gone that far, let's just work it separately, creating finger by finger. Creating finger by finger. Banana shaped finger. And again, I need to separate them from each other. We need to have some type of a distance between them, I guess, because we need to sculpt them. They're constantly going to be on the way. But this problem is solvable too. Of course, we could just basically hide what we don't need and sculpt it without problems. What happened? Firefox automatically opens tabs for some reason. Not pressing anything and it still opens them. Just inflate it. Over the top. More controlled. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, this is pretty not easy task for me to do, so that's why I'm kinda not talking much. Again, I want to get more experience working with base mesh, like starting from the base mesh and then just going into detailed sculpting. And I'm not So I still don't have experience, and because of this, in creating base meshes, and because of this, of course, these things are definitely going to be a little bit uncomfortable for me, and Dynamesh. By the way, we didn't save a lot. Let's just say. Mi braino. Yeah, my brain is kinda last couple of days not in a good state. I didn't sleep that much. Didn't get that much of a sleep. But I hope it will definitely change. I think today is going to be the day that I'm finally going to sleep well. Because after I will end this session, I will go right into sleepy time. By the way, I didn't prepare this one for the sculpt at all. I didn't smooth it out, which I had to do. This looks awful. Oh, it's so awful. It looks too gigantic, which is going to be a big of a problem. I think after I will create it, after I'll finish this one, I just probably going to select it and just basically scale it down, because oh, it's so big, it's so crazy big, and I'm aware of that. This looks horrifyingly big, but again, I will adjust this one later, or maybe now. I don't know. Let's just try to do this now, though. Why not? Probably do this without messing up things. Okay, this could work. Yeah, Control tap 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 to soften the mask. And let's just scale it down, because come on, it's too freaking big. It needs to be smaller. Not that way smaller. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a slight change. I don't want to make it too small. Okay, this one probably could work. Still need to make it probably a little bit thicker, or no, or not. Yeah, definitely that's it. I definitely need to make fingers a little bit smaller. They're definitely too big. Too big! How about the thumb? Thumbs up. Yeah, when you're working with hands, it's definitely all about the patience, because for this type of thing, patience is everything, I guess. So since we don't have a particular like similar to human form, so I don't think that we're going to have something closer to the human in here. I don't think that's going to be the case. So let's just design something that's going to look close to the tech world, somewhat technically. We definitely created something like this in here. Establishing the placement. It's pretty early for that, but I'm definitely going to redo this a couple of times, but I kind of need this. It will definitely help me to figure out how to go about hands, make them. They look transformer-like. Of course, this design is going to be different from the transformer design, but still, maybe I need to put them inside instead. No, it's going to look too strange. Again, I want to create a massive look. I actually could then create something in here. This is just a suggestion, I'm not going to keep it. But no, doesn't look well. Picture. Yeah, thumb is usually hard to create because it doesn't look like any other finger. And also it moves pretty strangely. It moves not like these fingers just bending kind of works diagonal, I don't know. Pretty strange movement. Of course I could create something like this in here. Again, we need to like actually explore this design. So I guess it's pretty early to go into design though. Let's just establish the fingers first and then we will go into design. For now, establishing fingers and their basic shapes is a much more important thing to do. Again, this is something that we need to adjust to, or at least I need to adjust to. It's the way of not overthinking things too early, because I tend to do this usually. Yeah, transformers I definitely don't have usual fingers. They are very strange. Making fingers, pulling them out. There's a bunch of ways how to do this, but I prefer this way. We could select a particular part, we could use move brush to push it, which is the way to. Oh no! Yeah, we need to see selections. By the way, why it actually was selected? Because see-through? Yes. To get rid of the see-through, we need to turn on the backface mask, and it's going to select still from all sides. There is some function that actually prevents mask from working through. Don't remember what this function is though. But it's definitely here in ZBrush, probably in brush mask. And since these shapes are were created a little bit separately, they are not codependent. They still a little bit, but again, it's less obvious. Yeah, it doesn't look good, but we will make it look good in time. Again, establishing basic shapes. Basic shapes usually look not that good. That's why they called basic shapes. Miku, basic shape, creating basic shapes, making them look pretty, making them look cool. Not necessarily look cool. To rethink this thing. Pull this thing up. Whoa, wait a minute, be careful with this, man. Again, like, ideally, like, for the human, I want to create this thing in here. I want to see how it's translated. Really? Don't think so. Some type of membranes? Whatever. But in Transformers' case, I don't think that this is going to be the case. Definitely something to think about. Definitely restrict movement. Yeah, it will restrict movement. Thinking about the function. Okay, let's just get rid of this suggestive design. I don't necessarily like how it looks. So we will work on it later. Kind of destructing a little bit. We don't need any destruction when we are working with a basic shape. this one too. Although I kind of like the dynamic in here. It's pretty close to the human hand. I still need to think how this thing is going to look, how it's going to be designed. Maybe I will redesign it completely, because mostly when I designed it, I just created something that looks cool and fits the design of the body. And it needs to be a part of the body design, of course. It needs to have something like this. Maybe I definitely need to make it a little bit more flat sides, I think. Don't think that it needs to be curved, although in here we could make this curvature or leave it, but in here I would probably go with something flatter. But we'll see. We'll see. For now, let's just keep it like this. By the way, oh, you tell me that we are kind of almost over. Aw. Yeah, time is pretty close to an end. Just kind of a bummer, because I need to create another finger. I need one more finger. So I guess let's extend the session a bit. I kind of want to finish a finger. So I guess just extend it in half an hour. Add a little bit to the session. Oh yeah. By the way, I'm keeping this curvature in here. This is one of the things that actually makes hand look better. This curvature. Because if I would just create it straight, it wouldn't look good at all. Like, it's not straight, it actually curved. Curved. Maybe I don't need like fourth finger. Maybe we'll go with animation like look. Why would we need like to create a fourth finger? No, I think we need it. Fortunately, we need it. It's crucial. That way though, hand looks pretty big or pretty wide. Maybe I will change something. Let's save. Oh, whoa. Whoa, what happens? What's happening? Okay. So this is not supposed to happen. It's probably because we have Come on, just make it like this. Yeah, 4 fingers looks pretty strange. You definitely need to readjust them and reposition them. They look off. Readjusting and repositioning. Okay, let's use for this mask. Choose a Just how we could actually change the direction. Taper, twist, extend, deformer. Oh, like this. This is one of the things that I first encountered in Cinema 4D. I kind of started my first 3D experiences with Cinema 4D. And there was the ability of misplacing the gizmo thing, or just gizmo, separately from moving the object. That was a pretty awesome thing. Don't remember if Blender has this ability though. Okay, now just move it slightly to the side. Okay, this one looks better. This one looks better. Oh, by the way, we need to think about maybe rotating it a little bit. A little bit of a rotation in here. Ideally, I would move it in here, no, but instead we need to move the little finger. So I'll just get rid of the mask. Choose our little finger. No pun intended with Game of Thrones. Nothing similar. It's a different little finger. Not from the Game of Thrones. Yeah, today I definitely have low energy. My brain is kinda slow today. Okay, kinda works. At least from far, looks normal. And yes, and of course, the whole reason why I did this, we need to move it slightly in here. Not slightly, actually. Priorities. Much in here. So again, we need to create this curvature in here that will make hand look good, no matter what this hand is, like animal hand, creature hand. By adding this curvature, it makes it less static, creates dynamic and dynamesh. Now let's just get rid of this horribleness. Smoothing this out. Yeah, and I guess next session I definitely go into a creative session. I'm going to explore the design itself, because I definitely want to design them pretty interesting in an interesting way. I will think what I'm going to put in here. Maybe I will create something like this, and, I don't know, put something like this in here, and I will figure out what to do with it. So the same we need to do for the inner part, although inner part is not going to be used at all. At least I'm not planning to use it, but it's a good thing if we are actually go through the whole design, and again and just think about how it looks overall, not just in a particular. Also, of course, the size of the fingers need to be properly managed. Usually point finger is longer than this one, so we need to make those ones a little bit smaller. The only problem that I have is with this finger. It looks too out there. Little finger has to be much smaller. Oh, come on. Yeah, that's what I talked about by turning on this big face mask. We need to apply movement only on one side, not everywhere. So yeah, to this session I just want to finish the basic shape. After basic shape is going to be established, it's going to be much easier to work with it. One of the things, by the way, that makes little finger look a little bit longer is this crease, usually from the inner side, because from the opposite. Yeah, from inner side, little finger usually looks smaller, and from outer side it like visually appears bigger, and the only reason why is because of this thing in here. Kind of makes it a little bit longer. The same for all fingers actually. They appear a little bit longer from the outer side of the hand than from the inner. Again, this is not probably the best way of depicting a alien form. It doesn't look alien at all. I definitely need to think about this. Do I need to create some type of it's like MMA gloves, I don't know, but more alien-like. Yeah, I don't know, something about them throws me off. They're too simple. It's like I need to make them a little bit more complex, but not too complex. Yeah, this looks silly. the opposite way. By the way, this could work from the inside. It actually looks not that bad in terms of a design, but still I don't think that I will use it. Maybe slight. Peanut. Yeah, I think this thing needs to be connected somewhere in here, or even we could put it in here, but it's not going to look that good. Guess I need to create something in here. And it's not properly shaped, so it's not going to look good. Oh, right. I definitely need to add these type of like elements of the movement that I will add in here, that's added in here, and in here. So I think I already answered most of the design questions. I don't think that I need to create something super different from this part. I definitely going to just use these elements and repeat them in here. Why not? Since we already established them. Still need to create some type of a cohesion for the project to make it solid. This is definitely something to figure out. Yeah, I'm just exploring. I'm just exploring how it's going to work. The more design elements I will put in this today, the easier for me is going to be next time to make decisions what to discard and what to keep. Most of the things I think I will discard, but still, having this design in here could definitely be beneficial, since I don't necessarily know how this hand is going to look like. I could experiment a bit, give it a little bit more time to settle in my brain, and after a break in one day, look at with a different eye. Look at with a different eye. Look at with a different eye. Yeah, still a question. Actually, there's not a question how to connect these. It's actually pretty easy to figure it out. There's definitely going to be these things in here. They will bring flexibility. Question is how to connect things in here. I don't need to. Design suggestions. Oh whoa. Be careful. Movable part. Again, repeating these type of designs. The same is going to be here. By the way, why I didn't depict it earlier? Gonna need to. Because they have a little bit of problem in here. Yeah, closer to the back they become smaller and smaller, and I guess they will meet. Whoa. Yeah, sometimes you just give yourself to subconscious and let him or it just basically drive you. Complete block or of consciousness. Not complete block, but I wouldn't call it suppression or suppressing a subconscious consciousness, but sometimes it feels like it. Like you're just going through something on autopilot and not necessarily controlling things. Accentuate this one, make it a little bit deeper. Deeper. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, patience is everything. So I was patient. It didn't look good at all. I was patient. I didn't give up because I knew that eventually I will make it right. And in some time, it kind of becomes better. You start seeing things clearly or clearer. Start to ask the right questions and finding the right answers. And slowly but surely things start to work. Just work the way you want them to be. I guess at the beginning, if you not sure about particular design, you can go with like just simple experiments, see what's going to look right, what's not. And then if you see something that you like, go with it. But again, the best way, of course, when you know what you're doing. But it's not always the case. Sometimes things come to you through the experiments. This is one of the things that I, most of the time, like at the beginning when I actually started to draw and get into art, I thought that, yeah, I will go through the experiments and I will draw some things. I don't need neither reference nor anything, nor knowledge. Like, not without fundamentals, I just going to explore and super cool things were going to appear. Of course, it didn't go that well. It was not the case at all. But then I got the opposite way. I started to discard the experiments from my processes. So like, screw the experimentation, it doesn't work, I need to know what I'm doing. And then most of the time I didn't make decisions until I was sure about these decisions, and it was all motivated by the need of control things. So again, I completely disregarded the experiments in my work and I decided, no, I need to control things. This was a mistake, because we need to give experiments a try, so as we need to know what we're doing. So basically we need to combine these things together and learn how to work around these things. Because if you're disregarding experiments, there's not going to be any happy accidents. If you are going only with experiments, constantly waiting for happy accidents to happen, you're not going to feel in control of your work. That means you're not going to be that much confident in your abilities. And it's all about psychology. Psychology. Yeah, by the way, we're almost closer to the end of about like 7 minutes. So yeah, I guess for now I will leave this at this. I still going to explore. I will think about this part. I can already don't like necessarily how it looks. Maybe I will change something. Maybe I will make it a little bit differently. Maybe I will add some type of crazy creases in here, make it deeper. I don't know. We'll see. We definitely need to consider to making this part of the hand closer to the design elements that already existent in our overall design, because again, we need to create a feel of cohesion and togetherness. So exactly that. And yeah, also hand is too big, like fingers are too thick or too thin from the side. Definitely need to readdress this problem. Also, the dynamic of this one is wrong. For some reason it got out of control. Didn't work that much on this side view. We need to put these things a little bit down to create this curvature in here. Because we have this type of curvature for whole hand, but it's not present in this armor, and it needs to be present in armor in order to not kill the movement or the dynamic of the hand itself. Yeah, and I killed the whole dynamic either way. Dynamic. Yeah, it's so awesome when you're creating something from nothing. Like, come on, before that there was like emptiness. And thanks for the sculpting, now we have something that looks like hand. And feels pretty believable, at least. I wouldn't say like super realistic, but at least believable. And we need this believability in our work. Believability. There's still a lot of work with the fingers though. Don't like how they look in terms of a form or basic shapes. They're not fluent at all, but kind of works though for now. So yeah, throughout this session we at least finish on this part, and next session I'm going to decide how to finish these designs, because we completely redo them. We're going to redo them. So redesign is going to be based on what we're going to have here. So probably will make something closer to this one. This one, still want to maintain. Wait, why not? Again, let's just slightly showcase it. If we don't like it, we always could get rid of it next time. Okay, for this one, it's kind of a questionable thing. And also, what's here? Oh yeah, we definitely need to create a crease to establish the side straight line. It's going to change with rotation, but it's a good indicator for us where these separations are. Usually you need these type of indicators, at least from one side. It's kind of a guide to figure out where things are in the space when we are going to rotate this hand in our imagination. Okay, let's just make them. Oh yeah, this is actually going to go in the center. Exactly in the center. It goes probably in here, and then just straight up. I definitely need to figure out what to put in here, because we definitely need in here some type of a free space, or I don't want to put too much details in here, because there's a bunch of details in here and we kind of need at least somewhere a empty space for balance this out, but still it's too big. We still need to make something in here, maybe creating some type of a thing. Chair with the person sitting in it. No, we're not going to do that. So yeah, at the end that was a struggle, but at least I got somewhere, which is a good thing. So yeah, let's just save and slowly we will finish up our session. So yeah, next session I'm just will continue to refine this hand. I hope I will finish it though, because again there's not much things to do now. We need to work on the fingers separately, figure out how they're going to be shaped properly, because right now they have awful shapes to them. I definitely don't want to design on these strange and blobs. They need to be reshaped properly, and after I will reshape them, I guess we could start to work with actual designs of the fingers. And again, before we're going to start design fingers, I think we need to finish in here and then here, and that will end the inner parts too. That will answer most of our questions in terms of how to design fingers, because again, fingers are almost not going to be present in the illustration. They're going to be so far that we're not going to see their design almost at all. So, but still we need to make it look cohesive with the whole design. So, and I definitely will think about this part, so maybe I will put something much more interesting in here. Not that it's not interesting now, kinda, but it's pretty simple. I would want here something much more, I would say, cool looking, complex a bit. Because like for instance in this design, I kind of like how this thing works. Like we have a little bit an armor here, a little bit of armor here, and it actually creates movement in here, so it suggests movement. I don't have necessarily the same thing. It's kind of like just big thing, so maybe I will think about separating it and implement in this hand armor a particular design from the existent design in our body. So yeah, that's kinda it. Just save again. Yes, closed zebras. Oh, come on, how many times? And yeah, on that note, I guess we will end this creative session. Yeah, thank you for watching, thank you for being here. Have a nice day or night, and see you in the next session. Bye bye.